There's a little bit of flour on your table. You're just going to give a little bit of flour on your cutting board. And then you're going to go like this. And then just use your hand to pat this a little bit. A little bit more flour. This is really soft, really tender. Everybody's got a rolling pin. And this is all we're going to do. When you do a roll, this dough is really soft. You're going to be able to see this, right? It's going to thicken up. All you need to do is you're going to get it like so. And then you're going to give it a little turn. And give it another little, right? Nice and round. Whenever you do doughs, especially for it you should always be able to slide right on the cutting board. You should always be able to move just a little bit. With such a small amount in there, they do tend to cook quite quickly. So roll this out, give it a little turn. So you're looking for a dough that looks like about here. Everybody see up here? You're looking for a nice dough, something about this size. All right, now, all that we're going to do, the thinner you get it, the thinner the noodle will be. This is going to cook up kind of thick and nice for you. Don't worry too much. Now, what you're going to do now, you only need about part of this. You won't need all of these noodles in here. It's going to be way too much. But I wanted everyone to have a little bit of of this dough because you can save it. So you're going to cut this in like half. I cut it into a strip like this. Think about when you bend your knuckle like this. This is about 1 inch. Okay? Yeah, that's about 1 inch. So look at here. 1 inch. Right? 1 inch wide. Cut this just like this. Make a little pile. You only need about half that dough for this. You're going to add, when you get your noodles cut like so, you're going to take and put a little bit of your chicken in here. And if you want the chicken smaller, that's fine. Okay, I put chicken in. I'm going to use part of it for there. And then these noodles. Take these noodles, drop them into your boiling water. These do not need long to cook. Literally, they take a few minutes. This dough is very easy. You just drop them in, give that a little stir. Just takes a few minutes for these noodles to cook. And then you're just going to put that little bit of noodles, just put them in your hand, drop them right into your stuff, those little bit, half of your noodles, and just lightly let those cook. Just a little bit. It's going to absorb some of the water. This doesn't need to cook long. Take your tasting spoon, and again, remember, your chicken, make sure you save some chicken. Chicken goes into the other, right? And you want to just let that simmer a little bit. You want to start to taste it. You want to put a small pinch of pepper, just a little bit in there. And then you want to start to taste this. See where you're at with the salt. What do you need, right? Remember, no salt when you make a stock, so you're going to need to put a little bit in here to bring it to the salt level that you like. Now, you want to make it an Asian flair? Add a little sesame oil to it. Maybe you add a little Asian vegetable, some bok choy to it, right? You could add maybe add rice to it, already cooked rice. Lots of different ways. We're doing a little egg noodle, real simple. You see how soft those noodles are? So taste that. That will give you an idea of kind of what a good soup, chicken noodle soup, that's kind of what you want. It's not salty, it's hot, so again, a little bit. You're going to take that piece of sausage that you have, and you're going to take that sausage and you're going to cut that sausage in half, and you're going to cut it into little half moons, like so. Drop that sausage in there, and we want to get a little bit of browning on the sausage. The reason is because I want to bring out some of those flavors of that sausage so that you get a little in depth of that sausage, right? You want some of those flavors of that sausage to get in there. Then we're going to do the next one will be your vegetables. Add your vegetables, a small pinch of salt, and we're going to cook those vegetables down a little bit. Then we're going to add beans, we're going to add some garlic and a few things in there, right? and we're going to go the same process. You can use the same spoon. We want to let that sausage get a little bit brown. Once that starts to get a little brown, you're going to then add in your onion and your carrot. Okay? And keep it right on 800 for a little bit. And then once the onion and carrot get in, then you can turn that down. Then you can turn that down to about 500. Once you get that, one of the things as a chef is you learn to cook for others, not just yourself, right? I lay the knife, give it a little smash, and then I run my knife through a little bit, right? I want it to get in there. You do this because you want to get more flavor in there, right? You're going to put a little bit in there. Then give this a little stir. Again, watch your heat on there if it's starting. So when you go to do a chicken breast, think of your hand. This is a great thing. This is what a chicken breast is like, right? Thin and thick. You do not go like that. That's a no-no. You go like this, right? You put it into deep, to the thickest part. And you want that dimple, the meat, to go up that far into it. So you're going to go into it like that. And within 15 seconds, if that hits the temperature that you want, it's done and ready. That would be a great dish for your velouté. You could add a tablespoon of mustard to this if you want a little mustard flavor, right? You could add some mushrooms to this. You could add a little bit of cream to this, and you would have a supreme sauce, and you've got another. So that's what this would be used for. And I'm going to let this simmer now for the next 10 minutes and let it get nice and go. You don't need to thicken this. I'm not going to add much pepper to this. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, but not a lot, because the sausage is a little spicy. And always when you add a spice or something to it, give it just a couple of minutes for it to disperse throughout. Give it a good stir. Always, and you guys have to, when you're cooking, only cook with what you're going to drink. Yes, next week we're working on bechamel, which is cream.